Hello, I am Shivaji Bhaskar, Faculty of Russian at the School of Foreign Languages, IGNOU. I welcome you all to this course, Basics of Russian Communication Skills. As you know that in our previous modules, we have been discussing about various aspects of the Russian grammar. As you know that we have also came across different cases of the Russian case system. As each and every case of the Russian case system is peculiar in nature, and accordingly every case they have certain verbs, certain expressions which are generally used in these cases. That is why we have been using the text as a teaching methodology for learning Russian really well, so that with the help of these different kind of text you not only learn Russian language well, but also know about its culture in an efficient manner. In this module, we shall also take one text titled День рождения, which means birthday. As you know, there are certain occasions in one's life which we celebrate with family and friends. One of them is, of course, the birthday. And during that day, as you meet your friends and family and celebrate with them, eat, sing, and do lots of activities. So accordingly, we shall be having a dedicated text on the theme birthday. I would like to recommend you all to note down all the important words, adjectives, verbs and expressions which we are going to use in this text, and use as per the context in your own situation. It would not only help you to construct new sentences, but will also help you to express your emotions. So now let's begin the text. First, I will read it in Russian so that you can understand the tone and texture of Russian language, and then with the help of English translation we will understand the meaning of the text. So the title of the text is День рождения, means birthday. Вчера был мой день рождения. Я пригласила своих друзей домой на обед. Мои друзья очень веселые. Они подарили мне книги, музыкальные CD, цветы. Недавно моя однокурсница Лена была в Японии. Ее отец сейчас работает в русском посольстве Японии, а раньше он работал в Индии. Она подарила мне сувениры, японский веер, платок и шпильки. Мы говорили об учебе, о политике, о погоде. Скоро обед был готов. На обед были вкусные русские и индийские блюда. Салат оливье, рыбный суп, пельмени, грибы в белом соусе, рис с мясом, кебаб, лепешки, тушеные овощи. Мои друзья ели все с удовольствием. На десерт был вкусный шоколадный торт и мороженое. После обеда мы долго слушали музыку. Саша играл на гитаре. Таня, Галя и Игорь пели русские песни. Вечером мы все гуляли в центре города. Мы весело проводили время. So here you have understood the tone and the texture of Russian language, different nouns, adjectives, verbs in their conjugated forms, expressions in Russian, the pronunciation and the intonations and many other concepts which we have in Russian. Now let's pay attention to the questions based on the text. So the questions are: the first one, кого пригласил рассказчик на день рождения? The second one is, что подарила Лена? The third one is, какие блюда были на обед? The fourth one is, что делали друзья после обеда? The fifth one is, как вы отмечаете свой день рождения? Now let's pay attention to a few nouns, adjectives which we have used in the text. So the nouns are where. Where means fan. Kebab. Kebab means kebab. Lipyoshka. Lipyoshka means flatbread, chapati or naan. Однокурсница. Однокурсница means classmate or batchmate. Pelmeni. Pelmeni means dumplings. Platok. Platok means hanky. Посольство. Посольство means embassy. CG means compact disc. Sauce. Sauce means sauce or gravy. Шпильки. Шпильки means hairpins. Now let's pay attention to a few adjectives which we have used in the text. Городской. Городской means city. Музыкальный. Музыкальный means musical. Тушеный. Тушеный means steamed. Фруктовый. Fructovый means fruit. Now let's pay attention to a few verbs. Подарить. Подарить means to gift. Родиться. Родиться means to be born. Now let's pay attention to a few adverbs. Позавчера. Позавчера means day before yesterday. Раньше. Раньше means earlier. Now let's pay attention to a few special expressions. В прошлом году. В прошлом году means last year. Вчера вечером. Вчера вечером means yesterday evening. По телевизору. По телевизору means on television. С удовольствием. С удовольствием means with pleasure. Alright, now since we have understood the tone and texture of the Russian language through the text titled День рождения, we have also came across different nouns, adjectives, special expressions, adverbs which have been used in the text. Some of the expressions which are otherwise being used in such situations we have also seen. Now we shall attempt to understand the text with the help of English translation. You can also pay attention to the pronunciation of different words, expressions, and underline certain sentences which are related to the questions which we have asked at the end of the text, so that you can answer them correctly. So let's begin the text and understand it with the help of English translation. День рождения, as it is clearly mentioned, means birthday. Вчера был мой день рождения. Вчера means yesterday. Был was мой день рождения, was my birthday. Я пригласила своих друзей домой на обед. I invited my friends home on lunch. Мои друзья очень веселые. My friends are really cheerful. Они подарили мне книги. They gifted me books. Музыкальные CD, musical CDs. Цветы, flowers. Недавно моя однокурсница Лена была в Японии. Recently, my classmate Lena had been to Japan. Ее отец сейчас работает в русском посольстве Японии. Her father is working at the Russian embassy in Japan right now. А раньше он работал в Индии, and earlier he worked in India. Она подарила мне сувениры. She gifted me souvenirs. Японский веер, Japanese fan, платок, hanky, и шпильки, and hairpins. Мы говорили об учебе. We talked about the study. О политике, about politics. О погоде, about weather. Скоро обед был готов, and soon the lunch was ready. На обед были вкусные русские и индийские блюда. In the lunch there were tasty Russian and Indian dishes. Salad, оливье, salad, рыбный soup, fish soup, пельмени, dumplings, грибы, mushrooms, в белом соусе, in white sauce, рис с мясом, meat rice, kebab, kebabs, лепешки, flatbreads, тушеные овощи, and steamed vegetables. Мои друзья ели все с удовольствием. My friends ate everything with pleasure. На десерт был вкусный шоколадный торт и мороженое. In the dessert, there were tasty chocolate cake and ice cream. После обеда мы долго слушали музыку. After the lunch, we listened to music for long. Sasha играл на гитаре. Sasha played guitar. Tanya, Galia и Igor пели русские песни. Tanya, Galia and Igor sang Russian songs. Вечером мы все гуляли в центре города. In the evening, we all went around the center of the city. Мы весело проводили время. We cheerfully spent time. So here, in this text, with the help of English translation, we have understood the meaning, and we have also underlined a few important expressions which are very important in our day-to-day communication, especially when we talk about birthday. Now let's pay attention to the questions. What is the meaning of these different questions? So the first question is, кого пригласил рассказчик на день рождения? Рассказчик means the narrator. Whom did the narrator invite on birthday? Second question is, что подарила Лена? What Lena gifted. The third question is Какие блюда были на обед? What were the dishes in the lunch? The fourth one is Что делали друзья после обеда? What did friends do after the lunch? The fifth question is Как вы отмечаете свой день рождения? How do you celebrate your birthday? So these are the 5 questions, out of which the fifth one is important, as we are asking you to narrate how do you celebrate your own birthday. So you can use different expressions, nouns and adjectives as per the requirement that how do you celebrate your own birthday. Just think creatively and use different expressions. Now we shall attempt to do the text analysis and understand the nuances and the basics of different cases which have been used in this text. Let's go back to the beginning of the text again. So the title of the text itself is Jain Rashtenya, the day of birth. It has been translated as birthday. Jain means day, Rashtenya, day of. Rashtenya means birth, changes into Rashtenya. So the day of birth, which is translated as the birthday. Вчера был мой день рождения. Yesterday. For today we use сегодня. For yesterday we use the expression вчера, and for tomorrow we use the expression завтра in Russian. Please remember these 3 very important expressions which we very oftenly use in Russian. You can also use them as per the requirement and the context. Вчера был мой день рождения. Yesterday it was my birthday. So the verb быть has been conjugated in the form of past tense. Был мой день рождения. Я пригласила своих друзей домой на обед. I invited. So пригласить, приглашать means to invite. Has been conjugated in the past tense form. Пригласила я. Because the narrator is a female. That is why the conjugation of the verb пригласить is in the past tense form for feminine singular. Своих друзей, my friends. So plural. Друзья changes into друзей. Домой, at home. На обед. На обед. Обед means lunch. As you know that the breakfast means завтрак, обед means lunch, and dinner means ужин. So if you wanted to say Я пригласила своих друзей домой на ужин, it would mean that I invited my friends on dinner. So like this you can change the expressions if you wish. Then мои друзья очень веселые. So the term веселые means cheerful, very gladly, very happily. So my friends very cheerful. Они подарили мне. So они подарили, подарить means to gift. After this construction we use dative. So that is why they gave me, indirect object. So мне. Что книги, books, музыкальные CD, musical CDs, цветы, and flower. So all of them are in plural. So the nouns книга, музыкальная CD and цветы, all of them are in plurals. Недавно моя однокурсница Лена была в Японии. So недавно means recently. So this expression is also very important. You can use it. Моя однокурсница, my classmate. Suppose if the narrator is a male, so it would be мой однокурсниц. But here, since the narrator is a female, so Maya Adna Kursnitsa. Lena is a very popular name in Russia. Byla v Японии. Япония means Japan in Russian. Была где в Японии. So Япония changes into Японии. Ее отец сейчас работает в русском посольстве. Посольство means embassy. Changes into посольстве after the preposition в. And for Russian we have used русском. Русское посольство changes into в русском посольстве after the usage of предлог в. And the verb работать has been conjugated as for the father of Lena. Он работает в русском посольстве. Где? В Японии. А раньше он работал, and earlier he worked. So работать, the verb, has been conjugated in the present tense as well as in the past tense. Vinji. India changes into Vinji after the usage of предлог в. Она подарила мне сувениры. She gifted me souvenirs. So souvenir changes into souveniri in plural form. What are the souvenirs? Японский веер, Japanese fan, платок, hanky, и шпильки and hairpins. Мы говорили о учебе. Мы говорили о учебе. So we have used the verb говорить, о чем, о ком. So говорить об учебе because учеба starts with u. So as per the rules of the grammar, for prepositional, об учеба, about study. О политике, about politics. So политика changes into политике. О погоде, погода changes into погоде. Скоро обед был готов. Skora, it's another very important expression in Russian which means soon. Skora обед был готов. Soon the lunch was ready. Готов for обед. На обед были вкусные русские индийские блюда. On lunch были, they were вкусные русские means tasty Russian и индийские and Indian блюда dishes. Салат, рыбный суп, пельмени, грибы, белом соусе, рис с мясом, kebab, лепешки, тушеные овощи. So these are the different food items which are basically eaten by Russians traditionally in special occasions like birthday, weddings, etc. Мои друзья ели все с удовольствием. So my friends ate everything with pleasure. So whenever you can use the expression с удовольствием if you want to say thanks to anybody, if you meet someone, after meeting you can say с удовольствием, with pleasure. На dessert. So dessert in Russian is known as dessert. Был вкусный шоколадный торт. So here we are using вкусный шоколадный as adjectives for tort, which is cake. Вкусный means tasty, шоколадный is something which is made up of chocolate, и мороженое, мороженое means ice cream. После обеда мы долго слушали музыку. After the lunch, so после, after this expression, genitive case, после обеда. Обед changes into обеда. Suppose if you want to use завтрак, после завтрака, после ужина. So like these, you can also use these expressions when you make your own text. Мы долго слушали музыку. We listened to music for long. So слушать has been changed into past tense form слушали for они, for мы, for plural. Sasha играл на гитаре. Sasha играл на гитаре. So Sasha has been used as the name for Alexander. That is why the conjugated form of играть in past tense form is играл. So it indicates the gender of the noun. На гитаре. So Sasha played guitar. Tanya, Galya, Igor, Peli Ruski Pesni. The other famous names are Tanya, Galya and Igor, Peli Ruski Pesni. They sang Russian songs. Вечером мы все гуляли в центре. In the evening, we all гуляли, walked around в центре. Где? В центре. Center changes into в центре of what? Goroda. So the city center has been changed as в центре города. Мы весело проводили время. Мы весело. So we cheerfully. It's another very important expression. Проводить время, to pass time, to spend time. Проводить. So since they are saying that we spend time really well, really cheerfully, really happily, so we are using the expression in past tense form. Мы весело проводили время. So like this, you can also make your own text with the usage of different kinds of expressions which have been used in the text, as well as, if you remember, in the last question belong to the text, we have asked you how do you celebrate your own birthday. Let's go to the questions once again and try to answer them. Кого пригласил рассказчик на день рождения? So, whom were invited by the narrator on birthday? So, мои друзья. So, рассказчик пригласила, because she is a woman, she is a girl. So, пригласила на свой день рождения свои друзья, our own friends. She invited her own friends on her birthday. The second question would be, что подарила Лена? So, Lena, whose father was in Japan, she gifted her many things like японский веер, платок, etc. So, you can read the text, underline the sentences which have been linked with this particular question and answer it. Then the third one, какие блюда были на обед? There were many items which were prepared for the lunch. So, you can underline those important words, many different dishes, Indian as well as Russian. So, you can use these different for the answer like рис, kebab, etc. And the fourth one is, что делали друзья после обеда? What did they do after the lunch? They listened to music. So, слушали долго музыку. The fifth one is very important, как вы отмечаете свой день рождения? So, here you can use different expressions as per the situation and context and answer it properly. I hope that you enjoyed this text very much. We shall be bringing more such text so that you not only learn Russian really well, but understand its culture also. Thank you.